The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
I have a story here about a dog. A dog in Alabama leaves home for a walk. Maybe this is one of those dogs that is allowed to just leave at will and go for a walk. Anyway, the dog ended up walking into what was a half marathon,
right?
A local half marathon, and ended up finishing in an impressive 7th place.
So what, the dog saw people running and he thought, I'll run too, and just started running with people?
I think that was probably it. Yeah. 2-year-old dog named Ludivine. How do you pronounce that name?
Not sure.
That's what it sounds like. A bloodhound from Elkmont, a town with a population of about 400 people.
Wow.
So everyone probably already knew the dog.
Maybe, yeah.
And the owner, well, I guess the dog was walking with the owner. She came across this marathon, and off the dog went. That's 21 kilometers, about 13 miles?
13.1.
And it was a pretty good time, hour and 30 minutes, just over an hour and 30 minutes.
I'd like to see the dog get down to an hour 15 by the next one. I think it's doable.
I think the dog probably could. Dogs are, they're cardio beasts, most of them.
Some, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them. So they even awarded the dog a medal. When I was in Poland, this was a long time ago. I think I was like 15 or 16. I don't remember where we were, but we went on this like horse carriage ride around this property. It was a pretty long ride. It was a big property. I don't remember exactly what it was or where we were. But anyway, it was beautiful. Okay, so we're on this carriage ride, and there's this tiny, tiny little dog that, according to the person that was giving us the tour, follows them every time they have one of these, almost every day, and runs. Now, for a small dog, if it were a larger dog, it would not have been, I would say a larger dog would be going at just a medium pace along with these horses. This small dog had to go at quite a good pace to keep up. And for like an hour, this tiny little dog chased the whole cart,
right,
and was having the time of its life. This story kind of reminded me of that.
You know about the dogs in Russia that know how to ride the subway? Have you ever seen that? They know where to get on and where to get off the subway,
No.
and it's kind of like no big deal.
What are you talking about?
They just get around on the subway. There's dogs in Russia that they know the subway system. They know what stop to get on
Yeah,
at.
but does someone own these dogs?
I believe that, yeah, there's one that it'll meet back up with its owner at a certain spot. I mean, it's a crazy story.
That's that's pretty interesting. Where did you read about this?
On the internet, of course.
So it must be true.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything on the internet is true, as we know. That's legit. I don't think that's unreasonable. Dogs are pretty smart. I don't see why they couldn't learn to get on a subway and get off when the door opens twice. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I know I've brought up that video of Neil deGrasse Tyson did some special on dogs. That video with the border collie that is considered to be one of the smartest breeds of dog. And have I talked about this?
I don't think so.
Okay. Maybe I've just told a lot of people about it, but not discussed it on the bonus show. The owner of this border collie claimed that his dog knew the names and could very specifically identify something like 75 to 100 toys. Each one of them is different. Little plush toys. Each one has a different name. The dog knows all of them. So Neil deGrasse Tyson tests this. And he throws them all on the other side of this room. He calls the dog over to where they're none, and he says, "Go find octopus." The dog goes, finds the octopus, brings it back. He does this with a few different toys. It's very clear that the dog is well aware of all the names of these toys.
Yeah.
And then he takes a little Darwin doll that the dog does not know anything about and puts it in this big pile of toys, calls the dog over and says, "Fetch Darwin." The dog goes over to the pile, looks around, looks a little confused, comes back with nothing, and looks at Neil deGrasse Tyson. And again, he says, "Fetch Darwin." The dog then deduces that since this is a name he does not know and there's only one toy he doesn't recognize, he grabs Darwin and brings it back.
That's interesting.
It is fascinating.
Sounds compelling.
Yeah. This is also fascinating. there is a hotel in Japan that has been run by the same family for 1,300 years. It catered to samurai, and it can cater to you. 52 generations. And I guess this is in the mountains of Kyoto. Very traditional, Japanese, old school, not looking like Western hotels, if you know what I mean. And when I heard this, Dave alerted me to this. This is just so Japanese that this would be kept in the family for so long. And I'm thinking to myself, how many owners over the years thought to themselves, I don't really want to do this, but I have to.
Right. Of the 52 generations, how many were kind of like, I'd rather be doing something else. Yeah, I mean, probably some. But the other thing you have to remember is you only need one person from each generation to keep it going. If there's 3 siblings, you only need one to want to do the hotel thing. The other 2 can go do whatever else, as long as then you have someone from the next generation to take it over.
That is true. It's not that all your employees have to be members of the family.
Of course.
But it's just that mentality, you know. It's just so Japanese, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I think in some ways it's really admirable. We talked about this after we watched, I don't even know if you watched it. I think you watched it, Jiro Dreams of Sushi.
I've seen it.
And it really seemed like the eldest son really might not be that into sushi.
My mom, when she saw it, I recommended that to her, and she said, yeah, for me, it just sort of seemed sad. I don't really think the elder son is very happy with what he's doing. It seems like that kid, I just didn't like that. I was upset by that. And I was aware of it when I saw it. This is about a very good sushi chef in Japan and his 2 sons. And that's sort of the gist of it. It's on Netflix if you haven't seen it. Very, very well done. My mom came away with that same impression.
Mm-hmm. And the younger son, I think there are only 2. Yeah. Anyway, a younger son opened his own sushi restaurant. Well, not because he didn't want to work for his dad. It's just assumed that the eldest son, the firstborn, is going to take over directly for the father.
Right.
That's just tradition. And great documentary. I think you could learn probably a lot about what is happening at this hotel by watching that documentary about Jiro's Sushi Place. But this was established in 705. Man.
What's the room rate now?
I don't know, but it currently holds the Guinness World Record for oldest hotel, and now they are looking for another record. I don't know. I guess there are some natural hot springs that naturally heat some of their, tubs or pools or something like that.
Seems lovely.
The pictures look pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if on the other side of these trees and down the hill there's a sprawling metropolis or not. I'd like to imagine it is not. But fascinating place.
Do they have turn down service?
Probably.
Honestly, I've never understood what that means.
Turn down service?
Yeah. Is it like they close the curtains and open the covers on the bed and maybe leave a chocolate? I've honestly never understood what it is. Whenever I'm asked if I want it at a hotel,
just what
I say
every
I don't.
single hotel does? Doesn't every hotel have turn down service?
I don't know.
Okay, I thought that's what it was. They make the room.
No. Turn down service is something that happens at night. Like it usually happens if you're out to dinner. You come back and the room has been turned down. And I can't for the life of me figure out what it is. I think part of it is they sort of like pull the covers back. Okay, that's number one. I think
saves you a lot of energy.
They close the blinds. Maybe they leave you a mint on your pillow, a chocolate on your pillow. I think that's what it is. I never fully understood it.
Okay. I don't know either. It sounds unnecessary. I want to go to Japan so badly. I know we have members, fans of the show, people who live and or work in Japan.
Right.
And it's just not easy. It's not as easy to just go from the Northeast here to somewhere in Europe. That's easy.
Yeah.
Especially Western Europe. But
there is a direct flight now, a nonstop flight from Boston to Tokyo.
Oh, man, that sounds so brutal, though. I would almost rather have a layover for a few hours.
Not me. Once you're up there, the most efficient thing is just to keep going, But from what I understand, the jet lag really messes you up. Also, that's like a $2,200 flight most of the year. So for financial purposes, it might make sense to stop off somewhere.
Yeah. But You're right. I mean, the direct flight has its advantages. And there's always cocaine, right, to help you with your adjustment.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, cocaine. Just do tons of coke when you get there until you need to go to bed. And then, no, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. There are things that can help. But I usually just do some melatonin.
Right.
You're going to be messed up either way. What are you going to do?
Of course.
You really can't do too much about that. So I'm going to go to Japan sometime soon. I just don't know when. Dave, town hall.
Okay, the town hall is tonight. It's at 8 p.m. We will be sending out a link to the town hall at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be using the Spreecast platform. If you want to join us via video, you have to have a webcam. If you want to join us via audio, you have to have a microphone. And there will be also the possibility of just typing in the questions that you have, and then we will answer them. These always go well, Lewis, and I'm interested to see if with the election season coming up and et cetera, yada, 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 there will be even more people than normal. So that's number one, 8 p.m. Eastern tonight, Tuesday, January 26th. The other thing is we're considering doing a Reddit AMA. What this is it's an Ask Me Anything, literally is what it stands for. And basically you set this up on Reddit. People ask questions, and I would answer them. Now, if we're going to do this, I would really want to set it up to be successful. So I would want to sort of coordinate, Lewis, with our members to figure out a time where we can all agree that a bunch of people will be on the Reddit AMA asking questions and upvoting what we're doing to get as much attention as possible. Because my sense is, if we didn't tell anybody we were doing it, and at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, we set up a Reddit AMA, that it wouldn't really do very well. But if we all coordinated this and it was at 6 p.m. or something like that, and immediately lots of people start submitting questions and upvoting, etc., it really could get a ton of traction for the show. I think it could be great.
Yeah, that would help a lot. What percentage of the questions do you think would be trolls?
I really have no idea. I'm not sure. It's a good question. But I mean, we'll answer trolling questions anyway to some extent.
Yeah, I guess we can do that. Probably a lot of trolls, though. But I like the idea.
I did one sort of with a company in New York City that invited me to do one. I don't even remember the name of the company, but they would assist and they would have me film some of the answers. This was years ago. It did okay, but I think that now the show is way bigger and we could potentially have something really great, but it would really take some coordination, and I don't know exactly the best way to do it, but something we're thinking about. If someone is an expert in this and wants to help coordinate in some way, we are all ears.
Okay. And join us for the town hall tonight. And feel free not to ask us questions about politics, because my favorite questions to answer are questions that have nothing to do with politics.
Right.
Yes. Thank you.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.